something far superior to anything the U.S. had.
You're talking something that can go into space, go someplace, drop down in a matter of seconds, do whatever it wants, and leave, and there's nothing we can do about it.
In April, the head of the Pentagon's office looking into these incidents told lawmakers there were about 650 potential cases of UAPs. The White House said Wednesday it's still working on figuring out those answers.
Joining me with more is retired Navy Lieutenant Commander Alex Dietrich. Commander, thanks for being here. You watched the hearing today. You listened to the testimony. What did you think? What stood out to you?
Well, I was very proud of my colleagues, the three witnesses, Brian Graves, David Grush, and Commander David Fravor, who was my skipper at the time of our UAP encounter back in 2004.
There's been official recognition that this is a defense and national security issue. And that comes not just from these whistleblowers, but actually from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and from the Pentagon, who have issued a number of reports on this. We had yesterday 2 U.S. Navy pilots talk about UFOs, frankly, running rings around their aircraft. And of course, they fly the cutting edge of aerospace technology. And they said the things that they came up against were potentially so advanced that they posed an existential threat to the United States. And so that's one part of it. But the other part, as you say, the whistleblower David Grush, he's interesting because he actually served in the intelligence community on the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force. So if anyone was perfectly placed to say what covert programs the US government had, he's the guy. And this is what he did. And he's testified now. And Congress is trying to validate all this information.
So what's the Pentagon saying about all of this?
Well, they're being very tight-lipped. They're saying that they have not been able to validate the information. But the problem seems to be that even the unit in the Pentagon that is charged with the policy and investigative lead on this may not have all the security clearances they need to access some of the most highly classified, deeply compartmentalized programs that may exist on this subject. And that's why Congress is continuing to dig in this, and there will be further hearings. I think people will get to find out some of this, but not all of it. The most common thing that we heard yesterday in the entire hearing was, well, I can tell you that if we go to the secure room. So not for the public hearing, I'm afraid. So part of this, for whatever reason, is top secret. People say that the UK should re-engage on this, and the Pentagon confirmed that they had convened a panel on this with the Five Eyes. Now, the Five Eyes is the intelligence sharing alliance that includes the UK. The Ministry of Defense, when they asked about this, said we don't comment on intelligence matters. Well, that might keep the media off their backs, but what we now need is members of Parliament and members of the House of Lords to put the MOD under some pressure and say what's going on, because the Brits are involved in all this, and the Defense Select Committee, I think, needs to take a proper look at this. If the US, as the dominant power in NATO, is saying this is serious and it's a national security threat, we should be saying the same.